To provide AL400 connectivity, we need to perform few settings in the server so as to have its client connectivity. So now we will be seeing the step-by-step procedure of how to configure a system so as to get AL400 connectivity. So before that, we will check the hardware configuration details once again. So this is Core i7 system with clock speed 3.40 GHz, 8 GB RAM installed, Windows 7 Ultimate operating system, 64-bit. Okay. So these are the details. So as part of configuring the server to have AL400 connectivity, the first step is to install the Universal Terminal Patch. So here it is the Universal Terminal Server Patch. So since this operating system is 64-bit, we need to choose this Universal Terminal Patch x64. Now a new window will be opened containing Universal Terminal Patch x64. Here we need to click on the patch. We need to get this path success, okay, and later on you are asked to restart the system, so we have to click on yes. Now the system is restarting. Now the system is restarted. Now what we need to do, we need to open the folder again, Universal Terminal Patch, and now we have to enter the registry files. So for this purpose we need to double click on the first folder RDP. Here we have to click on run. Later a new window will be appeared for registry editor. We have to click on yes. In the registry editor you are asked to you want to continue, so we have to click on yes, and later we have to click on OK. Now we have successfully installed the Universal Terminal Patch for this operating system. So the next step is configuring the terminal services, which are nothing but to promote this server as a host. So as this part we need to go to control panel. In the control panel, administrative tools. In the administrative tools there are several features like component services. So we need to perform local security policies. Double click on local security policy. So new local security policy window will be opened. Here in the local security policies we need to perform few options like auditing user rights and security policies. So select local policies. So in the local policies we have to select user right assignment. So here we have there few options are appeared here. Now click allow logon locally. Here we need to give authorized permission, so we have to add user or group, advanced, find now, and here everyone, select everyone. Okay, apply, okay. Similarly there is another option, allow logon through remote desktop services, for promoting the clients to have a remote desktop services. So double click on it, add user or group, advanced, find now, everyone, apply, and then OK. So after completing the user right assignment perfectly, we need to switch on to the security option. Okay, in the security option, the third option is account limit local account use of blank passwords to console logon only. By default this option is enabled. You need to configure it to disabled. Disable, apply, OK. So we have completed the policies, local security policies. So after completion of local security policies, we need to edit the group policies. So to edit the group policies, we have to open the control, run. So in the run console, we need to enter the command gpedit.msc. Once you enter gpedit.msc in the run window, local group policy editor window will be opened. In this wizard, we have to select the computer configuration, later on administrative templates. In the administrative templates, we have to choose Windows components. So in the Windows components, check out the remote desktop services, this one. So in the remote desktop services, we have remote desktop session host. So in the remote desktop session host, select security. So in the security, there are few options. So we need to choose fifth option, require use of specific security layer for remote connections. So by default this option is not configured. We have to double click on it and click on the radio button enabled and apply and OK. So after completing the group policy editor, we have to update the group policies. So to update the group policies, go to run. In the run window, enter gp update space -force and click OK. Now updating of group policies is finished successfully. Now we shall install the AL400 server software. AL400 software. So this is the AL400 software version 1-6-0.0-4. So this is the latest version of RDP server software we need to install in the server machine. After processing the application, you can see the wizard appeared in front of you, AL400 HDP server software, where HDP is the RDP patent software version 1.6.0.4. So now we shall click on install. So once you click on the install button, the software will recheck whether .NET framework is installed or not. So it is installing few mandatory components by itself through internet. So after installing the mandatory components by itself, another wizard will be appeared like Windows security. Would you like to install this device software? So you need to put tick mark here and install. So now software installation is completed. Now we need to click on the complete icon button. So I am clicking on the completed button. A new window will be appeared like this. So this is the configuration wizard of this software. Here the language is set to English by default, and now we have to click on the next button, and you can see here the details of the software version. Okay, now we have to click on the next button. So here is the location of user private space. If you want to make the user space as a private, we need to choose one drive in the system. So you can see here there are three partitions, C, D and E. So whatever the drive I select here, that is meant for only user private space. So I am selecting here E as my private space, and I click on the next button. You can also see here the user private space will be built on the disk. User cannot access the other one's private space. Please reserve enough space for the target disk. Next, here partitions visible to everyone. So here are three partitions, namely C, D and E. You can see here partitions selected are visible to everyone, and any drive added will keep invisible until reconfigured by system administrator. So it also showing a warning in red color: do not select a partition which was already used by user private space. So earlier while choosing the private space we have selected E drive. Here we are not allowed to choose again E drive. Okay, so partition C and D are visible to all the users. Now we have to click on the next button. So now complete. Now the system will ask to reboot. Yes. Now we shall start creating user accounts. So right click on the computer icon, click on the manage. So in the computer management we have to select local users and groups, and here select users. Here right click mouse, select new user, enter the user account name. I am creating user 1, password 123, confirm password 123. Just remove the tick mark, user must change password next login, and put tick mark at user can't change password and password never expires. Create. We shall start create another user account, user 2, password 123, password 123, same. Okay, we shall create another user account, user 3, password is 123, 123. So we have created three user accounts, user 1, user 2 and user 3. After creating of the users, we need to validate the user accounts in the remote settings. So in order to validate these user accounts, again right click on the computer, go to the properties, select properties. So in the computer properties, you have to select the remote settings. So in the remote settings you have to select the users what you have to created. So in this remote desktop users, add user 1, user 2 and user 3. So we shall start adding user 1. Advanced, find now, slow, select user 1. Okay, so my PC user 1 is in the panel. Okay, and again add a user 2. Advanced, find now, user 2. Okay, and again add user 3. Advanced, find now, user 3. So we are validated all the user 1, user 2, user 3 in the remote desktop users. So these are the three valid users we have did. Now user creation is completed. We now just check out the RDP server software features. click on the start button, all programs, RDP, select the server manager, click on yes. Okay, this is the AL400 server manager window, which is nothing but the software what we have installed. So we just analyze what are the features present inside this software. So in the file menu we have new. So this is meant for creation of an user. So you can create user from this software also. So you can enter the username, password and confirm password and select this user cannot change password and create you can create the account. So the next option in the file menu is export. So under export we have two different features here, like user action security log as well as management operation security log. So in the user action security log you can find the details of export user behavior log security log, which is nothing but to find out the user behavior, which is nothing but when the specific user log into the server, on which date the user log into the system, those details everything you can export through Excel format as well as text file. So this option is meant for user behavior, means the details when the user is logging into the server, on which particular date the user is logging into the server. So those details can be obtained through text as well as Excel format. Similarly, the next option in the export menu is management operation security log. So it also does the same job of exporting the security log, means so these are all for security purpose. Those details can be obtained in text as well as Excel format. So that's about features present in the file menu. So switching to the next view option. So in the view option you can see the language you need to select. So we have different type of languages here. So by default we have selected English language. The next option is administration. So under administration menu we have different options like user default settings, user management, TCP IP ports configuration, system storage configuration, online user management configuration, user behavior log and view management operation log. Okay, we shall start analyzing one by one under administration menu. So first one is user default settings. So in a user default settings we have three options like optimum, balanced as well as economic. So if we choose any one among these option, the same thing will be applicable to the users. For example, optimum is an option to provide the smoothest desktop experience but consume more host resources. Means once you select this option, so whenever the users are connected to this device, the users will consume more host resources and performance will be also very high. So if any users are expecting high performance and we are not bothering about the usage of host resources, then we can select the optimum. The next is balanced option. uh, Choosing the balanced option, user can be enabled with a smooth experience for any application like web surfing, HD video playing full screen. So balanced option can choose in the server, so users will be getting the HD video and full screen web surfing smooth experience, but this time the host resources usage may be low than the optimum. Next option is economic option. So choosing economic option, the number of working users can be made very, very high, because here in the economic option it is meant for the minimum host resources. Actually choosing this option will make the server resources to minimum. uh, this is the economic option which supports more working users. So that's about the user default settings options. So the next option in administration menu is user management. So in user management, as earlier we have these options. In the user management, actually we can provide the customized settings here, like you can see here screen resolution, limit to maximum resolution, lock screen resolution, and graphic accel. So if any user expecting more graphics in their desktop, so we can provide enable option. Once we enable graphic accel, he can see the improvement of graphic content in his display. Similarly, video quality. So if any user expecting more video quality, we can drag this cursor to highest. You can also see here video quality will be start from low, medium, high and highest. So, okay. Next is about audio options. We'll just check out what audio options are there. So allow play and record audio means choosing this option will enhance both audio play as well as record, which is nothing but audio input and output. So next option is audio play, allow play audio only, which is nothing but it supports only audio output. Choosing the third option will disable total entire audio content. So that's the options present in audio. Next thing is about desktop options. In the desktop options, we have enable desktop wallpapers, enable user interface themes, show Windows contents while dragging, enable menu animation. So these are all about the desktop wallpaper settings. Next thing is about USB options. In the USB options, we have enable remote USB devices. So for example, an user connected to the system, if he wants pen drive access or USB scanner functionality or any USB printer functionality, mandatory we need to select this option. If you not select this option, USB peripheral connectivity is not possible. So that is about the inner things present inside user default settings. Okay, moving to the third option in administration menu, we have TCP by IP port configuration. So this is a total this is related to the network port connectivity. So as usual for RDP connectivity, the port number will be 3389. So for any WAN type of connections, the port number will be ranging from 13389. You can check out here it's specifying the TCP port number range beginning. RDP network services will use this number as a hint to search one or more available ports for communication. So the next option is system storage configuration, which is nothing but it's the details what we have did. So during the installation of RDP software, we have chosen E drive as a user private space, and the visible partitions to users are C and D. Those details you can check out here. Moving to next option, online user management configuration. In online user management settings, you can able to see the two options here present: don't need configuration, need configuration. So actually it is meant for this option is meant for permission to the users. It is totally related to an administrator whether he wants users to have connectivity to his server or not. By choosing don't need confirmation, users can able to access the server without any delay. So once we select need confirmation, whenever we choose need confirmation option, all the users have to get a permission from the server to have access the server connectivity. So by default we are not we are choosing only don't need configuration, which enables users to have connection safe. So moving to the next option in administration window, view user behavior log. So in this window, the details of users login time, logout time will be appeared here. The next option in administration menu is view user behavior log. So once you select this option, you can able to see the behavior of different users, user 1, user 2 and user 3. So when they log in into this server, those details you can find out here, the login time, logout time. So this is about view user log. And moving to the next option in the administration, view management operation log. So here in this menu you can able to see the management operation, relevant information, manager and logged out time. So set the time system disk. So when partitions visible to when I made visible to everyone. So you can able to see here the total information, the partitions visible to everyone, cd, when did I made it, so that time you can see here. And when I performed user default settings for videos, everything, the details here. So when we performed user default settings for having better connectivity in the RDP software, so those details are mentioned here in view management log. So actually this is a log file which provides you information whatever the changes you did in the software with time. So this so we have been discussed about the several options in administration window, namely user default, TCP configuration, online, everything. So we have covered all the features here. Next option is a help option about which provides you help about AL400 HTTP server software. So once you choose this one, you can able to see the licensed patent software dedicatedly designed for RDP, designed by RDP, AL400 HTTP server software version 1.6.0.4. So this is RDP logo and design are registered trademarks of RDP Workstation Private Limited in the India and to other jurisdictions. We also check out few options in RDP server software, namely home page, broadcast mode, maintenance mode and the online users. So this is about home page. Once you click the home page, you can able to see the general information of a CPU, RAM and all the hardware details. So it's about CPU usage, physical memory, RAM usage. So actually we have installed 8 GB RAM. So total available RAM, you can see how much used RAM you can able to see here. And you can also find the information how many users are logged into the server. So there are totally 3 users log in, remote users, and totally 4 including with the server. So you can able to see the server operating system details, Windows 7 Ultimate 64-bit of 64-bit version, about the details of processor, i7 motherboard, RAM, display card, everything you can see here. And network, about the network, it has 2 network LAN ports for the server. You can see here IP address of first LAN, next one. So moving to the storage. So actually we have installed 500 GB hard disk, those details are here. So we made 3 partitions, C, D and E, and you know very much that we have given E as a private user space and C and D are visible to the users. Once you check in the user sessions, I mean AL400 devices, you can able to see C drive and D drive visible to all the 3 users. So next option is broadcast mode that we will be discussing in later video. Next, moving to the next option, maintenance mode. So actually what does maintenance mode refers to? So activating the maintenance mode will disconnect all the remote working users and deny any incoming connections until maintenance mode is stopped. So once you activate this maintenance mode, you cannot connect any AL400 devices to the system. What is the use of this maintenance mode? Suppose if any administrator is wishing to do any important task, so that time he can put the maintenance mode activate. So we shall make the maintenance mode activate. Activating the maintenance mode will disconnect all the remote users. Okay, so now you can able to see all the online users went into hidden, logged out. You can see here the into marks. So now we are in maintenance mode, hence we can perform any important work in our system, in the server. Okay, once again we shall stop the maintenance mode. stopping the maintenance mode will make the users starting the I'm sorry. Now once again we stopped the maintenance mode. By stopping the maintenance mode, the users had its connection. You can see here user 1, user 2 and user 3 had its connection. So that is about maintenance mode. Next one is online users. So online users are the information of the users who had logged into this particular server. So user 1 and its display here, and user 2 and its display here, user 3 and display here. So in online users window we can able to perform few options for the about users sitting in the server itself. So since this is the servers, this is the okay na, this is the server system where RDP server software is installed. We can have few options. We can control the user sitting at the in front of the server. So here is the user 1. I can able to see the user 1 information sitting at the server. I can perform allow control of user 1. Now you can see here I am sitting at the server itself. I am operating the user session. If I want to make this as a full screen, I am already control the user 1. Now I make it a full screen. So the user 1 session has appeared in front of me, and I could able to control and I operate the user 1 session of my wish. So this is about user 1 session. You can able to see here user 1 session I have taken control, and here I am performing the user 1 session. So actually these are the dedicated features of the RDP server software AL400. Now once again I will minimize the allow control option. Once again if I minimize, my screen is regained back. Now I will remove the tick mark in allow control, and which means that I have came back from the allow control. Simultaneously I can message to this particular user 1. So I am instructing the user 1, please prepare for exam. So message is sent to the specific user. So this is the user 1 session login through AL400 client. You can see here AL400 client, from where we have login with the user 1. Okay, so that's about. So this is third option is lock. By clicking the lock option, which is nothing but do you want to lock the current desktop user 1.